You're watching coverage you can count on. This is News Channel 15's Nightcast.
This is surveillance video of Fort Wayne's latest homicide, and it has left the city in shock. Good evening. Even Fort Wayne's police chief says he's never before seen footage like the video captured late last night in the 2100 block of EB Avenue. He says the sound and the images make it clear just how dangerous some local lawbreakers are and starkly drive home the horrific impact of the crimes. Mark Mellinger is live at the site where the crime happened tonight. We continue our live team coverage of the tragedy. Mark?
Heather, a merciful quiet has settled over this neighborhood just southwest of downtown Fort Wayne. 24 hours ago, this area was crawling with crime scene technicians. It has been an eventful 24 hours since.
Surveillance video shows the crime unfolding. A car, van, and SUV heading slowly down EB Avenue. The SUV stops. A gunman gets out, his sights set on the van. Investigators say there were more than 45 shots fired. That hail of gunfire claimed John Holman's life, a shock to the system for neighbors in the area.
He gasped for air a couple of times, and then I didn't hear him breathe again.
Less than 12 hours after the crime, police had two suspects in custody, Charles Benson and Marcus Lindsay, both men in their mid-20s, as was the victim.
We saw an opportunity to take them down at appropriate times. We took them into custody.
That was around 9 o'clock this morning. Though the suspects and three other people wanted for questioning came willingly out of a home on Maumee Avenue, it still forced a brief lockdown at nearby Indiana Tech, the first in campus history.
We sent out word via text, via email, via tweets.
People living near the shooting scene are not accustomed to this sort of violence. One woman who did not want to appear on camera says her neighbors are concerned anew for their safety.
We're confused, really, and still in shock and in awe. We can't believe it happened.
As he watched the video of the crime, Police Chief Gary Hamilton was left not only saddened, but seemingly with a strengthened sense of resolve.
We're not going to have that in this community.
Back out live now as we continue our team coverage. I'm joined by News Channel 15 overnight reporter Rod Hissong. And Rod, you were the one who was able to obtain the surveillance video of last night's crime in the first place. Tell me how that came about.
Yeah, I've been able to cover a lot of shootings and violent crime overnight, and there was something talking with investigators that I was hearing about surveillance video. Now, normally you would hear that in a business or, a shopping complex. It's unusual, I would say, to have an enormous amount of homes with surveillance video.
Right, so and that's all it is around here is residential.
Yeah, and so I started asking some of our police officers and investigators on the scene about it, and we came to find a gentleman that had a camera that we've all seen the video plenty of times now that just so happened to be pointed directly at this crime. And you could go back and look at homicides in how many cities across the country over how many years, and to find video that shows everything that happened. If you think about it, it's about 20 seconds long. 20 seconds of what was captured on that video shows you how quickly lives can change for everyone involved and the people on this street who are still in shock here tonight.
Well, and we saw the video. The sheer number of shots fired is really remarkable here. More than 45 according to the police. Tell me what it looked like when you got to the crime scene last night.
Well, there's obviously a process to every investigation. Initially, they want to secure the crime scene. They want any potential witnesses or suspects that may still be around. They want to keep them close so they can get all the information necessary. And then once that process starts to evolve, then they start marking things in and around the crime scene, and that obviously came to marking all these shell casings. And we knew from hearing from residents that they had heard a lot of gunfire, but when they start putting those yellow placards down to point every one, and you're looking down the street going, is that a 4 and a 5? Is it 45? And you really got to think, oh my goodness, 45 shots. That shows you the determination of those involved and what they wanted the result to be last night.
News Channel 15's Rod Hissong. He'll be covering all the overnight news that you need to know about for First News tomorrow at 5 a.m. Thanks so much for being out here with me tonight, Rod. Now this case is a perfect example of how surveillance cameras can really really help police investigations. Certainly it did here. You know, more and more homeowners are investing in that surveillance equipment. News Channel 15's Randy Spieth looked into that angle of the story, and he joins us now.
Mark, leaders at local security companies say they're seeing more and more people getting security cameras installed in their homes, and they have had clients say the footage has actually even helped police. The evidence lies with the surveillance video.
It's not that uncommon to start seeing more things caught on video than used to be.
Williams Electronics is a local company that's helping people install video security systems.
There's an increase in awareness of crime. More little things happening that homeowners want to be aware of, and what's occurring when they're not home.
Big businesses were the first to install video surveillance systems, but with the price dropping in equipment and better video quality, homeowners are installing cameras now too.
I would say we've probably seen at least a 20% increase in home ownership of security and video systems.
The company's CEO says video quality has taken major strides in just the last 2 years. Last night's shooting shows clearly what took place. Clients of Williams Electronics have also handed video over to police.
It's happened here. It's happened all over, but I can recall 3 instances where it's been here in the last year.
Police say it's unfortunate that people need to install cameras to help catch criminals, but add people have the right to help protect their homes, and it really can help police when you're not home. Many times, if police didn't have video, police wouldn't have any evidence at all. Randy Spieth, News Channel 15.
Randy, thank you. Well, this was the 11th homicide this year in Allen County. The homicide total has been down significantly this year compared to 2013. However, the last week has been a very violent one. News Channel 15's Erin Rogers has been digging deeper into the numbers. She joins us now with what she's found. Erin?
Yeah, Mark, talking to police officers across the country, they say summer is usually when they see an increase in crime, whether it's because of weather or kids being out of school. But this summer wasn't as violent in Fort Wayne, even though this past week told a different story.
Fort Wayne is a good-sized city, and we have our share of crime.
But after a more quiet summer, this last week has sung a different tune.
Shootings is down in the city of Fort Wayne compared to 2013. But just in the last 4 or 5 days, we have a lot of shots fired.
This map shows the locations of the 4 serious shootings over the past 6 days that left 2 people dead and 3 injured.
After all the effort that we put in to reduce crime, to see another senseless shooting and loss of a human life really disturbs me.
Fort Wayne Police Chief Gary Hamilton says 2 shootings were out of retaliation and 3 of the 4 were personal and gang related.
They are not really connected to each other. Retaliations for other events that have occurred.
But even with the violent past week, homicides are down. At this time last year, the number of homicides was nearly triple, and in 2012, it was more than double. And summer is usually said to be a more violent time of the year, but this year we went the entire month of July without 1 killing.
I think that the different steps that the department has taken has done a lot towards that. Much as we can anticipate ahead of time, we try to. Much as we can target people ahead of time, we try to.
Now, Chief Hamilton says he's meeting with U.S. Marshals Thursday and hopes to get the financial support from them to help step up patrol efforts on the streets. Mark, back to you.
Erin, thank you. And for a complete wrap-up of this big and tragic story, go to Wayne.com. We have every angle covered for you there. That's it from here. Heather, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Mark Mellinger, reporting tonight from EB Avenue. Well, unfortunately, Fort Wayne is not the only Indiana city dealing with an increase in violence lately. Last night, the Indianapolis City County Council approved an increase in the local income tax. That increase will allow the city to generate an extra $29 million a year, which would be used to pay for 150 new officers by the end of 2018. One man is dead after leading police on a high-speed chase tonight. Investigators say just after 8, an officer saw a group of motorcycles near Bearfield Speedway and Smith Road. That area is known for drag racing, according to police. The officer drove near the group of bikes, and that's when 2 of them sped off, reaching speeds of more than 120 miles an hour. The officer ended the pursuit but continued down Fogwell Parkway, where he saw that a motorcycle had crashed into a guardrail. A body was found about 200 feet from the road. That rider was pronounced dead at the scene, and Fogwell was closed for several hours while police conducted that investigation. Auburn police are asking for your help finding a wanted arsonist. Back on June 1st, someone set fire to this garage in the 100 block of Center Street. Investigators say they don't know what the suspect used as an accelerant, but did say it burned some of the structure's siding. If you have any information, please call the Auburn Police Department. Indiana is now officially asking the Supreme Court to decide whether gay marriage should be legal in all 50 states. Today, the state attorney general's office issued a formal request asking the High Court to reverse last week's ruling by the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals. Leaders in Indiana say their case offers the best fact set to build a sweeping ruling that will end the national debate once and for all. They hope the Supreme Court will consider their request during a conference on September 29th. Keep your umbrella handy. Looks like you're going to need it tomorrow. Chief Meteorologist Nicholas Ferreri is here now with the first check of our forecast.
Definitely. The rain, it is coming. There is no question there. It may be hard to believe when you look at our live Doppler 15 Fury storm tracker now. No rain spotted out there. Earlier this evening, there were some scattered rain showers around. But take a look at the satellite radar image. All of that widespread rain moving into Illinois now. It will move in here tomorrow as early as late in the morning. 66 degrees is our temperature after a high of 76. The winds from the southeast at 7 miles per hour. And we are looking at temperatures down in the low 60s as Wednesday morning gets underway. 62 is how we'll start off the day tomorrow. Coming up in the full forecast, I have a brand new run of Futurecast, which brings that timing of the rain a little bit earlier. So stay tuned. You're going to want to see your hour-by-hour forecast.
All right. Thank you, Nicholas. Still ahead tonight, Apple has released 2 new iPhones and a new high-tech watch. We will show them to you. Plus, Ray Rice's wife speaks for the first time since the release of yesterday's video that shows him punching her in an elevator. Those stories and much more are new for you coming up after the break.
Coverage you can count on continues with Heather Herron and Mark Mellinger.
The fallout continues from the Ray Rice scandal. He's the Baltimore Ravens football star who was cut from the team and suspended from the NFL after graphic new video surfaced showing a fight with his then-fiancée inside a casino elevator. NFL officials say they didn't see that video until yesterday. Today, Rice's wife, Janae, lashed out on Instagram saying, quote, "To make us relive a moment in our lives that we regret every day is a horrible thing. Just know we will continue to grow and show the world what real love is." Several companies have already begun severing their ties with Rice. He's been dropped from Nike and removed from the hit game Madden NFL 15. Investigators in the Netherlands have released a report about the downed Malaysia Airlines jet nearly 2 months after it was blown out of the sky over Ukraine. A new preliminary report found that Flight 17 took several external hits before it split into pieces. The report does not blame anyone for the July disaster that killed all 298 passengers and crew, and it stopped short of saying missiles took down the plane. Fighting between Russian-backed fighters and Ukrainian forces have slowed down the investigation. A full report is expected within a year. Remnants of Hurricane Norbert are still pounding people in the southwestern part of the country. Emergency crews have closed a 40-mile stretch of Interstate 15 near Las Vegas due to flooding. That stretch could stay closed until sometime next week. Floodwaters also raced through Las Vegas hotel and casino parking lots after more than 3 inches of rain fell in 1 hour. The National Weather Service says rain and flooding could continue there through early Wednesday. It looks like Christmas is coming a bit early for Apple fans. This afternoon, Apple CEO Tim Cook unveiled 2 new iPhones and a new smartwatch. The iconic iPhone is getting bigger with 2 new versions, the iPhone 6 with a 4.7-inch screen and the iPhone 6 Plus with a 5.5-inch screen. The new Apple Watch was also introduced as well. The device has an array of features, including a calendar, instant direction, and a built-in fitness tracker. Apple's new iPhones go on sale next week, and the watch hits stores early next year. Nicholas joins us once again with more on this possibility of severe weather tomorrow.
Yeah, the rain is going to come. Severe weather remains a possibility. It's all going to depend on how this storm evolves overnight. I'm going to let you know the latest when we come back.
Coverage you can count on continues with Chief Meteorologist Nicholas Ferreri's live Doppler 15 Fury forecast.
Rain will be our big Wednesday weather story, and severe storms could be in the mix too. Take a look at our rain chances during the day tomorrow. They are going to rise rapidly as we make our way to midday. It's a 30% chance at 6 in the morning, 40% by 9. At noon, we go up to 80%. Pretty much all of the area will be seeing rain at midday, and it will stay that way through the afternoon into the evening before the rain chances decrease come late tomorrow night. By this time tomorrow, just a little rain lingering to the southeast of Fort Wayne. We should see things quiet down. For our Wednesday, severe storms are possible throughout the entire area, although this potential not as sure a bet as just the appearance of rain. That is a definite for us, and we could see some pockets of heavy rain. More on that in just a second. Tonight it's 66 right now. We had a high today of 76. Our winds from the southeast at 7 miles per hour, and just a light southeasterly breeze expected as we head through these overnight hours. 64 in Bryan, 66 in Paulding, 65 in Portland, 66 in Huntington, and 64 in Columbia City. Temperatures go down only a few more degrees as we work our way into Wednesday morning. We'll have a low around 62. Then during the day tomorrow, the rain will move in. Right now, though, no rain on our live Doppler 15 Fury storm tracker. The clouds are racing toward us, and that rain is moving closer too. You can see what a large swath of rain we have off to the west. There's pretty much no way it's missing us tomorrow. A lot of our forecast tomorrow, at least as far as the severe weather potential goes, is dependent on if we see any peaks of sunshine, because if we do at some point during the morning or the afternoon in between rounds of rain, we could get just enough juice in the atmosphere for us to see those severe storms late in the afternoon and evening. If you go through the day tomorrow, the morning hours, the afternoon, you don't see that sunshine, you'll know the severe potential is a little bit lower. But should we get those severe storms to develop, our biggest threats would be storms that produce damaging winds, 60 miles per hour or greater. Some larger sized hail, some isolated tornadoes possible, and flooding will be a threat for us regardless of whether severe storms develop or not, because we have a large amount of rain ready to move in. 7 tomorrow morning, when the morning commute's underway, some scattered light rain, mainly focused in areas to the northwest of Fort Wayne, but by the time we get to midday, noon, rain and storms across the entire area, including pockets of heavy rain. Could be seeing a good deal of thunder and lightning at that point. This continues into the ride home, and then more rain and thunderstorms will be generated as we head through the evening hours and into late night, as a front will continue to make its way through the area. Now, it will not completely leave and take the rain chances with it until late tomorrow night. Here we are Thursday morning at 1 o'clock with that rain finally off to the east. At that point, things quiet down. The clouds remain in place as we get into Thursday, but it will be much cooler then, highs only in the 60s. About an inch of widespread rain expected. We could see pockets of 2 or 3 inches, depending on if those heavier pockets of rain develop and if severe storms show up. 65 at 9, 71 at noon, 78 at 3, 81 will be the high, and you see how the 60s arrive on Thursday and stay through most of the remainder of the 7-day forecast. The only other chance at rain is for light rain late Friday night into early Saturday.
All right, thank you, Nicholas. Glenn joins us now with sports.
I know, with Mark out in the field, I feel like I'm sitting in the big chair, and I must familiarize it. Coming up in sports, the Shamrock Series, we're talking about Purdue and Notre Dame getting ready to play in Indianapolis. We're going to hear from both sides, from Brian Kelly. The Irish off to a great start, and only 2 games in for Purdue. Already got a quarterback controversy in West Lafayette. We'll hear what Daryl Hazel has to say coming up next in sports.
Coverage you can count on continues with Glenn Marini's Sports Report.
The last time we saw the Mad Ants, they were winning a D-League title. Defense of that championship now begins Saturday, November 15th against Sioux Falls. The D-League releasing their season schedule today. They also announced the division realignment. The Ants will be in the Central Division of the Eastern Conference. Division opponents are Sioux Falls, Iowa, and Grand Rapids. Notre Dame's Jalen Smith is adding to what's becoming a pretty full trophy case. Smith named the Lot Impact National Player of the Week. It goes to the best defensive performer. Bishop Luers grad, Smith had 10 tackles in Notre Dame's 31-zip win over Michigan. Now this week, the Irish face another Big Ten opponent as Notre Dame will play Purdue as part of their Shamrock Series. The game will be played at Lucas Oil Stadium down in Indianapolis. Purdue struggling this year, but they've got a history of playing the Irish tough. Witness last year's 31-24 Notre Dame win in West Lafayette.
We've talked about we don't rise to the level of our competition, we sink to the level of our preparation. And that's really where we are. And our players know it. It's been on the back of our shirts in summer conditioning because we knew what this schedule looked like. We know what it looks like. And each and every week, it's a challenge for us, and you can't rise to the challenge. You have to rely on your preparation, and that will be the case this week.
Over in West Lafayette, Daryl Hazel is in a quarterback conundrum. Today, Hazel wasn't ready to announce the team's starting quarterback for the Notre Dame game. Danny Etling starting the first 2 games for Purdue, but he struggled as the Boilers barely beat Western Michigan and lost to Central Michigan. Austin Appleby replaced Etling in the 4th quarter against CMU.
Well, both of those guys need to get a lot better based off the film, Pete, and they know that. We know that, and we're going to run a couple reps with both guys today in the ones, and we'll make a decision here this week. But it's not. I mean, we're not going to make a huge issue out of it. They both need to get better. They both made some mistakes in the game on Saturday, and we're going to move forward and make sure they're continually getting better as young guys.
Good question, Pete. Kick is set for 7:30 Saturday at Lucas Oil Stadium. The latest AP high school football poll coming out today, and no surprise for Snyder. The Panthers still #1 in 5A after beating Northrop. Dwenger still 4th in 4A, while Lures cracks the top 10 in 3A as the Knights come in ranked 9th. For the complete poll, click on the Wayne.com sports page. Homestead football's record-setting quarterback Logan Ormsby will miss at least the next 6 weeks. Ormsby diagnosed with a broken foot. He's actually been playing on it for a month. How's that for tough? Thought it was just a bad sprain. Turns out it was, in fact, broken. Ormsby throwing for a school record 420 yards in the Sparty's opener this season. Final stop is on the volleyball court. Bishop Lures and Blackhawk Braves ranked 9th in the state's Class A poll this week. Game 1, Lures controlling the net. Natalie Huntine with the point right there for the Knights, but Blackhawk right back, folks. They are tough. Madison Bird, great placement. 9 kills for her, and I scream, you scream, we all scream for Game 5. This one goes 5. Emily Strack right here with the kill as Lures wins Game 5, 15-9 to take the match 3-2. One of the more exciting volleyball matches that we've had this season. But how about Logan Ormsby? How do you play with a broken foot for a month? Got to be a tough guy to do that. He found out actually Friday before the game, according to our friends at the News Sentinel. Decided to play anyway. Apparently, the pain a little too much. But yeah, hopefully he'll be back for the end of the season.
All right. Thanks, Glenn. Nicholas has a final check of the forecast when we come back.
If you have outdoor plans tomorrow, I'd get some backup plans in place. Even if the severe storms don't pan out, the heavy rain most certainly will. It's going to be a wet day from morning into the night. Our high reaches 81. We get to Thursday, all the rain clears out, much cooler air filters in. We'll see highs in the 60s, still a fairly cloudy day then. Friday, 65. For the weekend, well, we could see some rain late Friday night into Saturday morning, basically that overnight time frame. It clears out by sunrise on Saturday, so the weekend will be dry, but it will be a cool one. 62 Saturday, Sunday 66, closer to 70 on Monday, and then we'll hit 70 on Tuesday. That's a September forecast, isn't it?
Lows in the 40s.
Yeah, some very cold mornings ahead
Quick
of us.
question. St. Francis plays a soccer game tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Will they play it?
Oh, it's going to be tough.
I'm holding you to it.
Field. Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Good night.